for noticing it and bringing it out so beautifully.
Loved it, Vikramji. Thank you.
Thank you, Lalit. As always, you are full of energy, and your energy spreads into the chat, spreads into the laptops, it spreads everywhere. So thank you for your energy. Be like this, always be smiling, be happy. Before we move on to our next speaker, Rupal Mohta, I'd like to symbolize what we are going to do next. Like when we were young, we used to go to big picture halls. Now that is going to be history problem. Used to go to the big picture halls and see pictures, Sholay happening or some picture happening. And there used to be trailers coming in between, upcoming picture. अभी शोले चल रहा है, एक महीने के बाद या 15 days के बाद ये picture आए. Bringing a trailer of a majestic book coming up very soon. Mr. Ram Prasad Reddy, please.
Namaste to everyone. Firstly, am I audible?
Yeah, very much audible, sir.
Yeah, so greetings to everyone. Firstly, hearty congratulations to Vikram Ketanji for beautifully writing a book that can make a huge difference to not only students, to the working class, and all the people who are facing challenges in life. And I'm sure many people know about Gita and everybody know the story. But not many people, especially in the modern times, know how to apply those principles to the real life. And the seeds of advice for problems that all of us are facing, mainly the physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, social. All of us have gone through and still we are going through. And sometimes they're complex. Sometimes we manage ourselves. And if there is somebody who creatively has transformed or maybe applied the complex book that most of the people do not understand into something that all of us can apply for the as a solution to overcome our challenges, and I'm sure that is making a big difference for all of us. On this note, I would like to congratulate Vikram Ketanji for creating this wonderful book that can make a big transformation to the lives of people in the world. And I'm sure this will touch the lives of 7.8 billion on the planet Earth, because the book is, Gita book is complex, but the application of that book to the real life challenges in the most simplest form, as most accomplished, knowledgeable speakers have been sharing, and I'm sure that can make a huge difference to the people in the world. Thank you so much. And I thank and also appreciate Satadal Lariji for beautifully hosting the event and engaging in a way that is very interesting, enterprising, learning. And now almost, I think, more than 3.5 hours is over. 2.5 hours. Still, people are so happy. There's a lot of, smile on the faces. So that is the kind of job that you're doing. So congratulations to you as well, Lariji. So I take this opportunity, just only 1 minute, to share with all of you the journey of a person who has created one of the most inspiring company in the country called Stay Fit Health and Fitness World. It's a 1 minute video. Then after that, I'll just show the picture. Then I'll close it. Okay. Thank you for the opportunity. I'll just play the video. This is the book. The name of the book is called Breathing Inspiration, A Life of Possibilities, which is written by none other than our own, the amazing and inspiring Satadal Lariji, the life story of Dr. G.K. Ganapathy Reddy, founder of Stay Fit Health and Fitness World Private Limited. I'll just play the video. I'll just come back. Sorry, it is getting stuck. I'll just come back.
Okay, no problem, sir. We'll move on to the next speaker. I'd like to congratulate first Mr. Vikram Khaitan, and before that, a little bit about Mr. Ram. There is something called Iron Man. This person on your screen has cycled in all continents, in all countries. He has cycled from, from Maharashtra, whole of South India, in Sri Lanka, in Europe, in Asia, in Middle East, in America, in South America, everywhere, in Africa also probably. He has cycled everywhere, and he's a long distance runner also. So there is a competition in the world where you have to swim some distance, you have to run some distance, you have to cycle some distance. And once you do that, it's a test of endurance, skill, strategy, and strength, and everything, will, of course. And if you get through that, very few people get through that, you are named as the Iron Man. Mr. Ram Prasad Reddy here is going to be our next Iron Man. Now he is half Iron Man. He has won the half marathon, half competition. Next, he'll make India proud by becoming the Iron Man pretty soon after the pandemic is over. So all the best, Mr. Ram, from everybody over here.
Thank you, Larryji. Thank you, everybody.
And I'd like to congratulate Vikram Khaitan for choosing speakers, by the verities of their personalities. The next speaker is supposed to talk about forgiveness and peace. And if you see the person, if you hear the person talk, she emanates peace and forgiveness from her own character. And the book she has written is called Indian Side Up. It is a book which has been peacefully written, and it can be easily engraved in your memory. Rupal Mohta, please.
To quote Samuel Johnson, the true, strong, and sound mind is the mind that can embrace equally great things and small. We all know that every living being today is a product of his choices and circumstances. As human beings, we all falter from time to time. And to fall is not a folly, but to refuse to get up and give in is definitely one. Our emotions define us, and they are also the force behind our actions. Good evening, everyone. I am Rupal Mohta, and I am elated to be present at this book launch. These words of wisdom that you just heard are definitely not my own. They belong to this brilliant book titled Seeds of Advice, which is written by Mr. Vikram Khaitan. The text in the book is a thought-provoking amalgam of the teachings of Bhagavad Gita and modern behavioral science. Amongst the many virtues in the book, there are two that have caught my attention. One being the virtue of forgiveness, and the second being the art of seeking peace. Our scriptures, if you read them, clearly state that Shama Parmo Dharam is a virtue that every human being must seek. I read through the book written by Mr. Khaitan, and I understand that the book clearly states forgiveness is not about shaking hands or hugging your tormentor or even praying for him. It is all about you and your healing. Forgiveness is the art of moving on. Mr. Khaitan's writing comes to your aid as the book has up its sleeve wisdom from the Bhagavad Gita and also techniques like the neuro-linguistic programming. All these particularly to help you practice forgiveness, which definitely is not an easy task to do. The second virtue is peace. Peace is a feeling of calm, which we will experience amidst all the mayhem, noise, hard work, and difficulty. The Bhagavad Gita clearly says that peace is the foundation and prerequisite for happiness in life. This book essentially talks about the importance of giving up material desires, identifying and connecting with the Supreme to attain real peace. This book by Mr. Khaitan talks about peace on two different levels. One is the internal peace and second is the external peace. He has also very cleverly and in a cohesive manner included the Buddhist teachings in his book. Now, as a reader, how will you benefit from buying and reading this book? Mr. Khaitan presents absolute solutions to you through this book, which are never going to fail you. The original verses from the Bhagavad Gita in Sanskrit are clearly written with their English translation and transcription, which will appeal to everyone, particularly the younger generation. A spiritually awakened person will thus be able to rid his deepest vices and take charge of his life to achieve the several desirable results and goals that he has set for himself. And as it is always said, as you awaken your soul, your search will begin and you will never go back to a mundane existence. Thank you so much for having me here speak about the book, which is absolutely wonderful. And thank you, Lahiri ji, for being an absolutely amazing host.
Vikramji,
If this body is a chariot, it has these two wheels that are forgiveness and peace. If you go around the world, they all say, "May peace be with you." Why do they say this? Because peace is lacking. That is the most desired thing. And what do we say in India? The peace is the foundation of anything else to happen. You can't even have a meal without having peace of mind. And coming to forgiveness, as Rupal said, it is easier to forgive somebody else, but it is even more difficult to forgive yourself. Thank you, Rupal.
has written a wonderful book called
Started.
Meet the Real You. The name of the book is Meet the Real You. Chetanji, and he's a spiritualist as well as an author, and he's a businessman by profession. And he has got a lot of things to share, of course. Chetanji, after you finish the discussion that we are having now, kindly paste the link of your book in the chat box. Like, I have been very sort of enlightened by the contents of your book. Chetanji, please. Chetan Bansal.
Thank you, Satabelji. So thank you again to Vikram for choosing me for concluding this book, the concluding chapter. So the last chapter is to develop self-awareness, the conclusive chapter, and what I think this is a most wonderful thing that we all must learn, because this is the only solution to all your problems and miseries, and of all miseries. Why I say this, what is self-awareness? Self-awareness is about understanding your own body, understanding your own mind, understanding your own thought processes, understanding your own emotions, and understanding how your mind reacts, what are your thought process in a particular situations, particularly in difficult situations. So I congratulate Vikram for putting this self-awareness chapter as a conclusive chapter, which is very important. And this should be the purpose of everybody's life, and that is self-awareness. I can cite one example. If anybody don't know how a computer operates, so it will become very difficult, time consuming, and very hard for him to use that computer. Same way, if we don't know our own body, our own mind, our own spirituality, we won't be able to solve the problems. See, we human beings are a creature of the super intelligence of this nature, and which is which runs on an automatic mode. Our life, we cannot choose our life, we cannot choose our death, even we can't choose the people that come in our life to a certain extent. Our thoughts, our perceptions, these are all automatic, depending upon our consciousness of our mind. So it is very important to understand our real self and to connect with that real self. The disturbance of the minds, the negative emotions of the mind have to go away. Only then we will be able to connect with that eternal source of life, which has created us, which knows everything about us, and which will take us onto an automatic path of life in an effortless way. And that is the sure way to a purposeful life. So I have written some points from this chapter, which I would like to share and discuss. The first thing he writes is three things that happen only by the grace of God. And birth as a human. And why he says as birth as a human? Because as a human, God has given us the most evolved mind. So we must use that mind to create something useful for self and others. As a highly evolved mind, we have a responsibility not only towards ourselves but to all the creatures in this universe to make this world a beautiful place to live in. And the second point he writes, it's a burning desire for liberation. And I congratulate you all that you all have a burning desire for liberation. That is why you all are here. And the third one is the receiving guidance from an enlightened guru. And that is very important. You may call it a guru or a mentor or something else. And to make our life, to make our awareness process, to make our understanding of life on a fast track, we need a guru. Because if we do everything ourselves, it may take time and our whole life may be wasted. So there is an importance of guru who can guide ourselves in a right manner and in a fast track way. So book is also a guru. Joining some courses, so it is very important for everybody to keep on learning in life, either through audio, video, or through some mentors or through books. And I think books are a great way, because in book everything, when someone writes, he writes their whole heart out with a lot of research, with lot of guts are required to write a book. So I again congratulate Vikram for writing this wonderful book. And the other thing that the author writes about self-awareness, which I liked is, and this is the most basic thing, and this is the most important thing, and this is the core of our life, that the five elements, the five constituents of which we are made of.
Oh.
One is earth, second is water, third is fire, air, and space. These are the five elements of which every cell of our body is made of. And if we can balance these five elements in our body, our supernatural intelligence will activate and it will show us the right path. It will show us the intuitive path. And the best way he has written is that to balance all these things is in our hands. It is God has given this power in our hands, that we must eat right, that we must drink right, we must breathe right, we must meditate and gather knowledge by finding a spiritual guru. Or you can even find a spiritual guru within you, because this, your mind is nothing else, your brain is nothing else, but it is an antenna which can attract every natural intelligence which has created this universe. So these are the wonderful things that he has written on self-awareness, and very easy things, very practical things, very meaningful things, which everybody must imbibe in their life. Otherwise, we will keep on living a miserable life. We will keep on struggling in life. Hard times and difficult times will come in everybody's life. It will always come. But a cool and calm, a peaceful mind, a mind which is free from all disturbances, can easily find solutions to all the problems. So we must take problems and difficulties as a stepping stone to learn new things and grow in life. Again, he has written that nature does everything in an effortless manner. Nature doesn't need an effort. Everything is happening automatically. Like he has cited some examples of growth of forests, plants and trees automatically without human intervention. Numerous creatures thriving automatically. The sunset and the sunrise, the rotations of planet Earth, planetary movements, all are happening automatically. So nature is something which is running on a very automatic software which we cannot understand, but which we can see and observe. So ultimately, we have to align with nature if we want to increase our natural intelligence. If we want to lead a effortless life, we need to follow a natural path, a spiritual path of life, and that can only be possible if we can align ourselves with the nature. If we can live in the nature, if we can respect the nature, and if we can flow with the nature. Again, for he has again written about the 5 stages of the mind before one reaches enlightenment or reaches a true state of self-awareness. The first one is modha, this is a confused state of mind where a person is always in a confusion what to do or what not to do. The second one is kashipita, scattered state of mind, where where you are scattered, you are thinking a lot of things but not doing anything. And the third one is a focused mind or ekagraha, where you focus on your things and you easily find solutions to your things, and you can, even with focus, you can enhance your creativity and intuition power. The fifth one is niruddha. Niruddha is nothing but the extended state of focus or a prolonged state of focus. And this is what we call a flow state of a mind, where a person is in a very high state of consciousness, and this is the state of creativity. And I think whoever the creators in this world who discovers new things, or the person, the writers, the movie makers, the directors, they are all very focused persons, and that is why they are the creators by nature. So this is a skill, and anybody can, by enhancing their self-awareness, by enhancing focus, by relinquishing all negative emotions, they can attain this state of mind, higher conscious state of mind, and live a peaceful, happy, and prosperous life. He has written 3 practices for self-awareness, and the one is the power of reasoning. And the power of reasoning is very important, and this is a part of the self-talk. We always go to others for solutions, but we never analyze our life situations first. The second is the power of intuition. So intuition is something which is beyond your logical mind, and you must have seen some people, they are very instantaneous in their decisions. Why? Because the moment they saw something, the moment they see something, the moment something is offered to them, they will instantly say yes or no, because they are highly enlightened persons. They are connected to their inner self. They are connected to the core of their creativity. And the third one he talks about is the restraint. And the restraint is nothing but he's talking about the relinquishing all the vices of your mind: lust, anger, ego, greed, and possessiveness. And the last one is very important: how to practice restraint. In a very simple way, he has written, don't react instantly to an unwanted situation. Pause, wait, let that super intelligence work for you. And I tell you, this is the only one learning. If anybody can practice this thing, this is the most important way to a focused mind, a peaceful mind, and aware mind. This is the only way to self-awareness, and this is the only way to all solution to all your problems. So hats off to Vikramji for writing this wonderful book. And and I'm very thankful that you have given me a chance to conclude this book. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Chetan. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chetanji. We'll try to take up the questions right now. I have a question, of course, and then followed by Rupal Mohta and Lalit Unglani. So the first question of mine is, Vikram sir, you are a YouTuber. There's some echo happening. Can everybody be on mute, please? So you are a YouTuber, you are a blogger, you are an article writer, you are a writer, you are a guide, you are an editor. What next would you like to touch upon?
Satadal, this is a lovely question I ask myself every day, and I wish I get the answer. So far, the life journey has been that I never chose to be what I am. An inspiration comes. Somebody guides me from above to write something. Somebody guides me from above to do something. So I am believer in destiny. Destiny will take me to some good place. All that has happened so far has been good, and every tomorrow has been better than yesterday. So I am very positive and hopeful on that.
Vikramji, you have got your life has been, I've talked to you several times. You are staying in one place which is quite remote. Of course, it is at the foothills of Tirupati, and again you are into a CFO role, coming back and working with the YouTube and books and all those things, reading so many books. So your life has got the masala for my next biography in 2022. Don't you think so?
That's your choice. If you are going to write about people as small as me, that's your choice and your magnanimity. What can I say?
Sir, what I've seen is, people who say that I am small, they are actually not small. They have much more to teach the world, and they are the ones who hit the world. Dasrath Maji, and then Anand Kumar of Super 26. What do you say, Rupal Motan? With the next question, please.
Yes, Vikramji, I noticed that you've been mentioning that you've decided to give away the proceeds, whatever that you get from the sale of these books, to charity. Now, as a writer, we live off the income, which may not be true in your case, but what exactly has triggered this noble thought?
See, it's not a great noble thought. The Bhagavad Gita is spoken by my God. I'm doing a little service to convey my little understanding to the people. So there is nothing that I am creating in this. I am only conveying the message. I am the messenger. And messengers do not charge money for conveying the message. With that thought, I thought that I will not keep a penny out of this. No matter if I sell 1 million or a 10 million, this book has to reach out to people first. So that is why when somebody asked for a discount, I said, yes, I'll give you whatever discount is possible. Anything, near to the cost. So that is the motive behind it.
This is wonderful. This is very, very wonderful.